Hi third grade, welcome back. We've been doing a great job on paper macheing our popsicle stick buildings and they're almost done. Hopefully soon we can start moving on to painting them and making them our own. But let's talk a little bit about architecture so far. Remember, modern architecture can be very boxy like this, but there are many more ways that architects express themselves. One of my favorite architects, Zaha Hadid, uses crazy angles. She's considered contemporary because it's not modern. However, if you think about the homes we live in and the buildings around Plano, we could call this more traditional. They don't stand out, although they might be pretty, they're not boxy and they're not contemporary. Take a moment, and I just want you to think about all the things that an architect has to plan for. So think about this. When an architect wants to build maybe a house or a building for a family, they have to think about what kind of family it is. Does the family have a lot of money? Does the family have a lot of people? Do they need a lot of rooms? What does the family like? What does the family not like? Think about all the things that an architect can plan for. Now, let's say this architect is planning for your family. Now, should the architect put you and your brother or sister next to each other? Some people might say yes, some people might say no. Raise your hand. What does an architect need to know about you when they build your home? So last time we were here, we added paper mache. We used newspaper bits to add a layer on the outside of our house. The reason we're doing this is because we want to paint on the outside here, and so we need a surface. Now, some of you might have finished. Some of you might not have finished. That's okay. Today is all about catching up. Even if you weren't here, I want you to focus and do the same thing that we did last time. But there's some new things I want you to know. We, instead of putting the newspaper everywhere, we're only gonna put it on the sides today. The top is fine. You should have your sticky note where I can see your name right on top. If not, I can make you another one. We use the glue to glue down our sticky note on top. The top is fine. We need to make the sides stronger today. So even though it might feel fine, this is actually very weak. We need to add maybe 1 or 2 more layers to the side. If you weren't here or you need a refresher, what we did was we took newspaper, hold it as if you're going to read it so you can see the words. And I know it's kind of hard to see because I'm holding the camera and doing it at the same time, but you're going to take the end of the newspaper, pull towards you to make some strips. So we're just gonna take a moment and cut ourselves some strips out of the paper. So you get 1 paper per person. I want you to turn it into long strips. Now I have all these strips. You are gonna be sharing with the people around you again. What we're doing is you are going to take one of these long strips, you're going to tear it into a smaller piece. You're also going to have some water glue. Remember, it's 50% glue, 50% water, half and half. You're going to take your fingers, you will get a little messy today. Take those fingers, move them around, and then totally saturate the piece of newsprint. And then you're going to apply it to your building. Now you remember, you don't need to do the top today. The top is fine. It's the sides I'm worried about. This is how we're gonna make it strong so that this can handle the paint that we're gonna put on it. We're going to attach, make sure you get those corners. I would start with maybe the corners. Really take some time to smooth it down. That's what's gonna get it glued. And then remember, when you go in for the next piece, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna saturate it. However, you're gonna do what kind of pattern with the strips of paper? I hope you said crisscross motions, which means that since this one is going horizontal, I now need to do one that is vertical. Now, this may happen where it's just kind of not sticking on very well. Take some more of that glue. I don't mind if you go back and really smooth it out. The smoother, the better, because the smoother it is, the better the paint will look, and you don't want anything hanging out. So like I have areas where it's starting to curl up, you definitely want to take newsprint and kind of put that down. So I'm gonna take about 30 minutes and I'm going to cover this up with at least 1 layer. If you can do more than 1 layer today, that's even better. Your building will be so strong. So here I am in fast mode working on it. What I want you to notice is that I am taking my time, I'm doing crisscross motions, but I'm also taking time to smooth out those edges. So every time I add one, I take just a few seconds to go back and smooth it out. I don't want any wrinkles. If you have wrinkles from last time, you can put paper mache over it, and that should smooth them out. The smoother this is, the better it will be for painting. The more layers you add, the stronger your building will be. If we run out of time or you finish your layers early, you can put the lid back on, throw away any of the extra newspaper. We don't need it anymore. You can take your tray, put it somewhere on the back counter, and I will pick it up later for you. And remember, throw away any newspaper. I will give you a wet wipe or have those available so that you can clean your table early and then start a new activity. It could be free draw, whiteboard, or a coloring sheet or whatnot. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Be safe and then add layers, so work hard. I'm excited to see what these are going to look like.